Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series second cast of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes I surprise even myself. Not too difficult, I know, considering how low I've set the bar in the past. I thought we'd have a bit of a change of pace from the last cast today. We're going to go Average Joe's Custom 3v3, and that's going to take place on Finn's Revenge. Now, I've done a lot of games on Finn's Revenge over the years, and they've all been pretty much in the 1v1 format, I believe. Finn's Revenge, obviously one of the quintessential ladder maps out there, so very typical 1v1 format. I'm honestly not sure if I've ever cast a game in 3v3. No doubt, though, some hard copy guys going to start posting links in the comment section below about all of my previous games I have casted on there. But you know what? When you get to my age, the memory and the hair starts to disappear. Enough of that. Let's get on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. So we know what we're dealing with here in terms of map. Let's take a look at our players. Going first for Team 1, rear guard. Not really air position, because let's face it, on Finn's Revenge, you're just as likely to focus on Navy if you're sitting back here. Not usually a lot of large, big air plays on a map of this size and shape. But anyway, he's a fan of Tony Shalhoub. It's Adrian Monk, so he's either obsessive compulsive or he's a detective or he's both. But one thing he isn't is a good judge of character, because he's chosen Cyber. Never mind, he's opening first land, fair enough. Down to his south, we have team member number 2 for Team 1. Probably a large bearded chap from Detroit, but in my mind, she's a pert 22-year-old flight attendant from Sweden. It's C-Cups. There we go, and he, she, or whatever is also going Cyber, unfortunately, in mellow yellow, opening first land. And last but not least, with a feeling of the Matrix about it, it's red or blue pill in, what is that? Is that breast cancer awareness pink? No, it's baby pink, and he's going Seraphim, opening first land. There we go. On to Team 2, rear guard, whatever position it's, build more flak in Volvo Bay. She's going Seraphim, opening first land. To his right, and already getting embroiled in a few conflicts as we slow this down with C-Cups, it's Oh No, appearing in his second Guile cast of the week. No favoritism, I promise, it's just happened that way. Certainly no bribery going on. And here he is, he's also going Seraphim in Lurid Green, opening first and second land. And last but not least, over here on the move towards the middle causeway, it's Tanker723, he's going Cyberin, opening first land in baby blue. So Team 1 with 2 Cyberin and a Seraphim. Team 2 with 2 Seraphim and a Cyberin. In comes C-Cups with a Hunter. He's got the mole there for coverage, but a Selen and Tham are in the area. Managed to pick off the Selen though. Nice work, but doesn't stick around long enough to grab anything else. Oh No, won't be too worried about losing that scout. He certainly needs to do something about the mole sitting just off the coast here, but of course no intel yet, hasn't run past it to get vision, doesn't know it's there, needs to get a radar up in the area ASAP. Tanker moves to the causeway on the left hand side of the map, meanwhile grabs the mech sitting there for the moment, chilling out with his ACU. Still yet to see any movement from red or blue pill sitting in his base with his ACU, and that's going to continue for the moment. I think he looked like he was going to be working on another factory. There we go. In fact, he doesn't know what he wants to do. He's going to get on with some more P-gens. Why the hell not? We've got some Navy being constructed at the back there for Adrian Monk, engineer, diligently working on the first of 2 queued up naval factories, and that outstrips anything from Team 2. None of them going for Navy as yet, all sticking with more conventional land-based weaponry. In fact, I don't think we've got anything other than land factories even queued up so far. Everybody going with a strong land game for this one on Team 2. Do we have any air factories for Team 1? Well, not. Oh, yes, we do. Sorry. So Adrian Monk is the only player so far who's deviating a little bit in terms of unit mix. Going to go land, sea, and air. Nearly finished with that first naval factory. Hydro almost complete as well. That's going to place him a little bit ahead of his mirror, build more flak, who's just about over halfway on his hydro. And now we do actually have that air factory plonked down next to the hydro, or it will be for that adjacency bonus. Oh No, crossing over onto Team 1 side of things. Suddenly discovers the factory sitting right next to a mass extractor. A couple of zoomies coming in to help there. Helps him finish off that Mex. While he eats a little bit of fire from C-Cups' ACU, he's just going to sit there and reclaim that factory. Down it goes, nearly done. But Adrian Monk arrives to the party, and what a party that would be with that slightly strange and socially retarded individual. But anyway, here he comes, and his arrival might just have helped C-Cups hold on to that factory. 285 hit points remaining on that so far. Oh no, doesn't like the odds. He's going to back out into the outside waters and no doubt make his way further around to a more defensive position back here. We've got some PD being placed by the build capacity in Ono's base. Very sensible considering C-Cups still moving forwards. The question is, will he get it online before the ACU gets there? If the ACU continues to press on, I'm very skeptical about it. There he goes. He's got vision. Fires a couple of shots on the structure and then decides to work on the engineers. 3 units of build capacity taken out there. Very nice work indeed. And we've also got a few Mantis strolling in with him. Red Pill, Blue Pill getting an upgrade on his comm and being challenged a little bit by Tanker, but oh no, not happy about the situation. 2v1 over on the right side, calling all kinds of, well, foul language out. His team chat does not like it's not even team chat, he is just announcing that to everyone. Way to give your opponents a boost in morale, screaming about how much you need help. But anyway, he certainly could do with a little bit of assistance. Down to 5,000 HP on the comp. C-Cups on around 5,500. Now with Adrian Monk starting to put together some PD, that could be very dangerous indeed for Ono's base. Build More Flak turns up from the west with his AC. We're also getting the odd unit coming down, the odd Mantis from Tanker 723. We are getting a little bit of crossover going on up there, but we're going to stick with the action down here because it's certainly where the more interesting plays are going down. Ono trying to get another unit of PD down a little bit further back. C-Cups telling his opponent to reclaim and retreat. Probably not a bad idea, because we seem to get some static PD in the area. And Build More Flak, of course, turning up with his ACU significantly more healthy than the 2 ACUs from Team 1. Adrian Monk on a little over 5,000, and roughly the same, little over 5,000 there for C-Cups as well. And the situation is only like to get worse. Of course, on a map like Finn's Revenge, so easy to come in and challenge with your ACU and duck back out without really getting yourself into trouble, because of course all of these soft flat beaches, you just skip back into the water if there's a problem. But Adrian Monk is backing up, sticking to the land. C-Cups gets into the pond in the middle, and we do have a Trident on the scene, so Team 2 will now be aware that they are facing Navy. It's not looking great initially for Team 2. It would seem that Red or Blue Pill has finished his upgrade, and look out, is going to score a kill. No, he's not. Tanker 723 surviving on less than 200 HP, makes it into the pond, but his forward position is going to be in tatters after this. Things definitely not going well for Team 2 at this point. Red or Blue Pill moving in, going to take down that land factory, and the odd unit coming in to support there from Build More Flak is not going to last too long in the midst of all of that. Tanker is going to try and get a naval factory on the inside. Now, I usually like this play on this map. You can get on sort of near the center, especially if you're actually a Seraphim or a UEF, because you build a couple of cruisers in there, and the stinging reach of those missiles can cause such problems for the units and forward positions on this map. But if he helps him secure his causeway, it will be worth it. You can get a few Tridents sitting off the edge here. He just needs a little bit of time. Of course, regen on that Cybran comm significantly larger than the others. That's what their trade-off is against initial HP compared to the other ACUs, that extra regen they get. But Red or Blue Pill just starting to move around a little bit more with this comm now. Sensible being as we've got a wave of Zoomies coming in there from Build More Flak. Build More Flak himself down below 5,000 HP on his comm now, but doing absolutely everything he can to keep the main base alive for Tanker 723. If that goes down, this really will be a done deal for Team 2. Ono has progressed across the causeway. Meanwhile, on the eastern edge of the island, he's a little bit low though, 3,600. under pressure from C-Cups, also on 3,600. Adrian Monk backing up, but what this has achieved is it means it's the end there of that little land factory which survived the first attack there for C-Cups. He won't worry about it too much. He's still sitting in a reasonably comfortable position. Tanker 723 dips back out of the water, emerges onto the beach and takes a few pot shots at things, but immediately gets counter-fired by some of the artillery that's sitting here in the middle. He's still well in the red, 2,100 HP and climbing. Doesn't want to mess about too much, but a Jester inbound there from C-Cups, giving Ono a hard time. Could potentially bring him down into the red, but there's a couple of inties show up for build more flak. Team 1 getting a glimpse that Team 2 have finally stepped into the air game. Jester not likely to make it back home. Ono gonna dip into the middle pond without getting himself in too much trouble. 2,600 HP remaining on him. We do have a T1 bomber out for build more flak, going after red or blue pill and landing on his own troops instead. That is just one of the things about the mechanics of this game. Always the way. Red or blue pill saying, guys, 2v1 in chat. Not sure what that's pertaining to. I guess he's asking C-Cups and Monk to push their corner. Nice little engagement now between Zooey's Thams and Tridents over here at the edge of the map. Should go well for the Tridents as long as Monk keeps them moving. Might potentially lose one here. No, they're going to fall short. Scattered just a little bit too much, and that will be the end of that little position there for Ono, who drops to the bottom of the score table. Let's take a quick break and slow things down quickly while we just look at Eco as an impending attack actually comes in from Build More Flak. Adrian Monk well out in front, 27 mass per tick on generated mass. We do have a 78 there, but that of course is Ono reclaiming. True fact is actually 17, and he seems to be sitting on second place. Third place, C-Cups and Build More Flak. And then we have Tanker, followed by Red or Blue Pill, which is going to drop even more now, I believe, with this impending attack, or I say impending, this attack that's happening right now. Zooey's tearing through his base, all core mass offline, and now the Hydro soon to follow. He was doing great work up front, but of course this is the power of the Seraphim in the early game. Those floating artillery doing so much damage to buildings. Very cost-effective weapon indeed, and of course not hampered by the coastline. Can just go anywhere they please, and have done so in this case. Another Jester out, this time for Adrian. He's going to use those to counter the Zooeys, but it's not going to be enough to save that last mechs. Red or Blue Pill down to just 3 mass per tick, and is going to be, well, a little bit redundant for some time in this, and that will be a major morale booster to Team 2, who've been on the ropes in the first 10 minutes of this one. Always nice to see something to alleviate the pressure. Red or Blue Pill still up front, battling units. This time he's facing T2 aggression. Tanker 723 upgrading his land game and moving in with Rhinos. Red or Blue Pill not overcharging. I'm guessing that's because he doesn't have energy storage, and that would be the case. Just 4,000 power in the bank there, so he has to rely solely on that gun upgrade. Still chewing through those Rhinos without any major difficulty. Not enough damage there to threaten the comm too much. A little bit of an assistance ping going down there from Ono, wanting his rearguard player Build More Flak to throw some of those NGs onto that T2 land factory. Wants to get some T2 NGs on the scene. No doubt wants to get some point defense in here and finally close off this causeway from C-Cups, who's been giving him no end of trouble. Anyway, that first wave of Zooeys from Build More Flak's finally been dispatched. Another one is coming in, though, to the west. There are Tridents stationed up here this time. Not sure of the exact route they took in before. It seemed like some came in here and some came in across the pond. They kind of met up here, but either way, this route seems to be closed for business. I'm wondering if Build More Flak is going to withdraw that next group of Zooeys coming in. Looking at the side islands, though, nice grab from Adrian Monk, who's sitting on both of those. That will have been something that will have helped him get into the lead. He's actually only level, well, he's not in the level actually anymore. See, bottlenecking on power, that's why he would be in the lead. He needs to get his power sorted ASAP, but it does seem like Team 2 starting to get a handle on their eco side of things. Ono getting another upgrade on his comm, sitting in the water there. Red or blue pill, though, still holding on to that position. That first naval yard for Tanker 723 was destroyed. He's looking considerably more healthy than he was a moment ago. Dips out of the water for a moment and then thinks, you know what, that's a lot of bad guys, and promptly submerges once again. Adrian Monk saying going torp launcher on his comm. That could be interesting. Get him in the pond in the middle and prevent Team 2 from using that as a safe haven. Another wave of Zuis crossing over the pond meanwhile from Build More Flak, and they're going to run into a ton of Jesters, but not before taking out at least one of the factories there. You can see Adrian Monk getting that torp launcher on his comm, around 50% complete. Over to the eastern causeway. Ono under sustained fire now from a couple of Cerberus turrets. I'm wondering if his attention is elsewhere. No, he's not. He's well aware of how much damage he's taking. He is concentrating, and he wants to take out that lead Cerberus turret, which he's going to do with a final overcharge. Still, he's yielded quite a lot of HP there, down to around 5,000 hit points and falling. More point defense under construction further back, this time T1. Certainly could do with a few more Jesters, though. They were working quite nicely up here for Adrian Monk. I can't see where they've gone, so I'm going to assume that they were shot down by some of the mobile anti-air there from Red or Blue Pill. He's still happy as Larry, sitting there saying, you know what, if I'm going to lose units to your ACU or any reinforcements coming from this area, I'm just going to reclaim it all. So really, ultimately, sitting in a pretty good position. Vipers on the scene there for C-Cups, hurling mobile missiles at the T2 PD that Ono has finally got online. So C-Cups countering at exactly the right moment, as all good air hostesses do. Ono trying his luck once again, fires an overcharge into that T1 PD, takes it down to just below 50% of its health. Needs to keep on the move, though, does not want to continue to eat mobile missile fire. And now we have T2 naval units in play. Salem class destroyer making its way down the eastern edge of the map, and that really could be decisive in this. Getting it around here, taking a look at its range and all the structures it can hit. That red line just needs to stick close to the shoreline, and it could cause all kinds of problems for all of these players. But taking a look over in the west, Red or Blue Pill getting boisterous once again, trying to harass Tanker 723, but Buildmore Flak seems to have his ACU stationed there permanently and has managed to force Red or Blue Pill back once again. Loving the amount of action on this one so far. It's absolutely all over the place, and only 16 3/4 minutes gone in this one so far. Red or Blue Pill down to a little over 5k in terms of hit points. Buildmore Flak conversely on 12k. Massive more health for him. He's going to be able to drive Red or Blue Pill into the sea, or at the very least finish off the last structures up here and clear this causeway once and for all. Red or Blue Pill down into the red now, has no real choice, especially since he's taking hoplite fire to retreat, into the water. He's going to sit in there and reclaim one of the two tridents that Tanker has in that middle pond. Tanker moving in with that trident, but not far enough away to cancel that reclaim order. Meanwhile, over in the east, C-Cups also getting boisterous, and look at the pressure that's been piled on. Oh no, that looked like it was getting to some semblance of stability, this little base, when we started to see T2 PDs being put up, but a good combination of mobile missile fire and ACU pressure has nullified that. The naval factory that was placed down here from Ono has been destroyed, and now that Salem really has free reign. This is suddenly once again looking spectacularly bad on this side of the map for Team 2, but of course, as soon as one side does well, the other one crumbles. Red or Blue Pill permanently trapped in the water down here, and that's allowed Ono to traverse the map and come across the western causeway, and of course we've got Build More Flak there as well, trying to construct torpedo launchers to crush Adrian Monk, who's sitting in the water. But Adrian Monk, of course, with that nano torpedo launcher, able to protect Red or Blue Pill, but sadly the base will not be so lucky. Ono now stomping that T2 land HQ as another Ilsheva comes off the conveyor belt. It's really not going to be enough. Down it goes. They must finish off that headquarters, get it out of commission. But what else is very surprising is the lack of ground forces down here for Adrian Monk. He spent so much time working on Navy, working on air, and up front with his ACU that is relatively undeveloped in the main base. And with the pressure that's being brought there from Ono, we could have a possible base trade situation here. C-Cup still working on finishing off Ono's old base, but Build More Flak up on the other side of the map now. His base under pressure from Adrian Monk's Navy, one structure at a time, going down to that destroyer. I cannot believe it, but it really does look like we've got another base trade going on. Another Salem rolls off the conveyor belt, but the core mass point starting to go down now for Adrian Monk. He's dropped out of the lead on terms of generated mass. Tanker, who has been under sustained pressure throughout the game, actually takes the lead on 31 mass per tick. Oh no, his base is in tatters. But if they're going to make this work, they can't just rely on killing off this base. The main target of opportunity has to be C-Cups. Have to complete the base trade if you're really going to make this work. Red or Blue Pill emerging onto the eastern causeway to help destroy the last few factories, which are hanging on for dear life here for Oh No. Still producing Ilshevas. If you can get a few more of those out, might be able to force the comm off. But having said that, C-Cup's coming onto the land now with his ACU. That will be the end of that base. Build More Flak's base will be out of commission. It really will be just about C-Cups and Tanker having operational bases and seeing who can get structures online and some kind of eco going quicker out of the other four. Rhinos crucifying a whole bunch of interceptors there from Adrian Monk, who rather foolishly lands them in the base. Switching up to the Salem, needs to forget that. Take the T2 mass extractor first. It's much more important at this point. With just 800 HP, that will go down in no time. Salem can just move out of your range, which it does. Build capacity for Red or Blue, moving across to the other island, getting some T1 P-gens, so he really fancies this idea, and you know what, that's a good move. There's been absolutely no aggression on the side islands this entire game. It's a relatively safe space. If you're going to set up anywhere, that's the place to do it. So Red or Blue Pill happy to start building over there, and in the meantime can continue to pressure the opponents on the ground with the ACU. So we've got Oh No and Build More Flak setting up base in what was Adrian Monk's old HQ. He's still got his naval facilities online. That needs to be something that they deal with pretty soon, especially since there's T2 factory producing destroyers. Too much of that firepower will run straight through those shields, and this base will be out of commission before it's even got started. Adrian Monk really needs to bring this other Salem to bear on that. Twice the firepower missed out on in that attack. Another Salem over here, which can now start working on Tanker 723. Oh no, saying we need to overcharge the boats. Well, they need to do something about them, because right now it's a real rock, paper, scissor situation for Team 2. They have no counter, or no effective counter currently to Adrian Monk's Navy. Oh no, walking right out with his ACU. No doubt going to try and reclaim or overcharge, or a combination of the two, those naval factories. Tanker 723 strolling across to the eastern causeway. I'm pretty sure this is a bad move. Too many Cerberus turrets and not enough units there for Tanker 723. He might not have known quite how many units of T2PD he was facing. Having said that, getting a little bit lucky there with the relief of the land. And one does forget the woeful DPS output of the Cerberus turret. Well, I might have spoken too soon. That could be the forward defenses for C-Cups in tatters. Oh no, has not achieved anything with his ACU moving out there. Has shed a lot of HP though. 8,200 remain. 23 going on 24 minutes gone in this one. That's Salem down the side. Tanker 723's base still alive, although under an awful lot of pressure. Withdraws its legs and gets into the sea, but is not going to make it out of Rhino range. And crucially, that T2 HQ stays online with 1,000 HP or so. Meanwhile, Red or Blue Pill busy harvesting all of the mass that's been left behind by Build More Flak and the demise of his base. Lots of T1 P-Gens and the odd power storage in play there for Red or Blue Pill on that sideline, so he's busy getting himself re-established. Shield collapses over here for Team 2, but manages to blink back on before those Salems can do too much damage. They need to get in here and focus that shield gen and then take down that power plant. That is absolutely crucial. Have a look at what Adrian Monk can actually see. Well, he can see everything and he needs to be taking that and then taking that. But so far, he's looking a little bit too defensive. Or aggressive, but in the wrong way. Sending his units away from this position. He's got them tied down here, and if you can keep them tied down for long enough, you know, he's going to allow Red or Blue Pill to get back into the game. C-Cups to build up, and C-Cups is going to be reasonably comfortable before too long. He's on 78 mass per tick. Build More Flak reclaimed a lot there, had pretty high value for a moment. That's all it was reclaim. So C-Cups in the lead on generated mass, seems to be just ahead of Tanker 723. He's on 25. Tanker busy spamming up as many land factories as he can to build more T2 units, and there's a whole wave of Wagners coming in from the northwest. And that could be enough to finally deal with these factories. In fact, we have TAC missiles now being launched against, and judging by the height, that is a TAC missile from a commander. I believe Build More Flak has the tactical upgrade. Yes, he does, and that should finish off the T2 factory once and all. So that's a nice little upgrade there. I like what he's done, and if he's poised with that and sensible, he should be able to cause a great deal of damage to C-Cups' base as well. C-Cups does have TMD, but if he gets the right position on this, you can see there's one TMD there. He can come in from this side, he can hit all of these structures. There's exposed and vulnerable mass points sitting about the place, and of course the build speed on the Commander TAC missile is pretty huge. Now, that one got destroyed. The question is, will he be sensible enough to launch at a different aspect? You're amazed the amount of players which end up relentlessly firing in the same position. But what is this? We have a Skyhook loaded with fire beetles looking to snipe. Oh no, landing just off the sea there. And that's gone terribly. So, C-Cups desperately trying to snipe Oh no there. Drops his fire beetles in the water. And they drowned. Cybran technology at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Someone clearly didn't tell them that they weren't waterproof. Red or Blue Pill under a little bit of pressure down here from all of these Wagners, and those Wagners dish out a ton of damage. Red or Blue Pill into the yellow. I'm skeptical about whether or not he's going to make it out of this. Adrian Monk coming into the rescue from the southeast, though. Red or Blue Pill on 4,000 HP and falling, but the number of Wagners are falling too. It's going to be real close. 600, 500, 300. This is going to be another very near miss for an ACU. Oh, you lucky SOB. 80, and suddenly gets a rank of vet. Bumps him straight back up to 7,500. You lucky git. There's no other word for it. Certainly got away with that one. Build more flak, and oh no, now looking to pressure C-Cups, and with Red or Blue Pill out into the water now, there's still an opportunity here. If they can break this base, it's going to be tough, and of course on top of it, C-Cups now established in what was the ruins of Oh No's base. Down goes the Hydro though. But look at all of the Cerberus turrets. Build more flak, still trying to get attack missile away, but it's just too much in terms of tactical missile defense. This is going to be close though. Build more flak getting down to 3,800 before strafing out of range. Very unfortunate formation coming in now for Tanker 723 and his Wagners. A couple of Vipers go up in an overcharge there from Oh No. More Fire Beetles being constructed, so it looks like C-Cups is going to have another bite at the cherry. But Tanker 723's base under sustained Salem pressure now over here, so that is going to be the end very soon of the Wagner production. Oh No, still looking pretty healthy, and in fact has managed to deal with all of the Cerberus turrets up here. There are more TMDs back here, so it's not like Build More Flak is suddenly going to start sneaking missiles through, I don't think. He's still trying to get a play on those, but in comes a Jester, tickling that ACU to death. ACU switches up to a T1 anti-air to try and shoo that away. Down goes the shield. Now that Jester switching up to the anti-air defenses as he builds them. Question is, can C-Cups afford to split his attention between Oh No and Build More Flak? Well, he's doing pretty well so far. Oh No down into the yellow, 9,000 HP. In comes another Skyhook full of Deceivers. He's got to be really on this. A nice little quick land factory build stalls the deployment, and Oh No is able to overcharge. Very nicely played indeed. As hard as C-Cup tries, he cannot get the snipe on Oh No, and believe me, he is trying. We finally be about to see some air defenses go up. We've got one of them on there, and that manages to shoot down that annoying Jester. But over here, Tanker 723 is now homeless. His base is gone, and he's forced to retreat into that middle pond once again. Sandy causeways would suggest that it's actually a lagoon. Apologies for my topographic fail there. Build More Flak unhappy about his teammate, Tanker 723. I don't actually think he's done too bad for a 600, personally. And this has certainly been a very entertaining Average Joe's game. If you're wondering what I like, well, this kind of game does it for me in every sense of the word. Oh No has pretty decent regen. He's back up to 19k, but just can't afford to strafe too close to the base with all of that PD fire coming at him. And now a whole wave of Zooies from Red or Blue Pill bearing down on him. He's shed about 2.5k in HP, and still the Zooies continue to come. However, Ilshiba's waiting for them there from Oh No. Just needs to stroll on in to deal with that. And would you look at the stream of Zooies that are now just continuously coming from that side island and from every direction. In fact, coming in from the west as well. And that is just too much spam for them to deal with. I think that is well and truly the final nail in the coffin for Team 2. P-Gen down, Shield Gen down, HQ down. That base now out of commission, well and truly. Bill Flack saying, can we quit now? It's been a good game. Come on, don't be a sore loser. You've played well, your teammates have played well, it's been entertaining. Oh no. Firing everything he's got at the lead Salem there, but 7,800 HP takes a long time to chew through there, and Biltmore Flak very low on HP, 3,500, but is he going to go before Tanker 723, who's strolling in to the Cerberus turrets? He knows it's over, and so does everyone else. Now down he goes at the 33-minute mark. Biltmore Flak is surely going to be next, gets a rank of veterancy to sustain this for a little bit longer, but it's only a matter of time as he dips back into the red almost immediately. Oh no, taking a lot of Salem fire from the coastline. And now with the pressure off, they can feel free to throw everything they have at him. In fact, Red or Blue Pill coming back into the fray with a fully repped up com. 21,000 odd hit points on that bad boy. Should fare pretty well against a commander as badly damaged as Biltmore Flak is. Assuming he's still in the field at that point. Hasn't already succumbed to long-range fire. 1,500, 1,200. And suddenly the amount of units on the ground wavers, but the amount of Salems does not. And that gets the final blow there for Adrian Monk. And then there was one, oh no, left to his own devices, left to storm C-Cup's base. No point in holding out anymore. Oh, I don't know, man. Unbalanced. A three-player game on Finn's Revenge going 35 minutes with a couple of base trade really wasn't that unbalanced. Oh no, dipping down into the red as the game is closed out. He will be the final victim, so a clean sweep for Team 1. Just a couple of very near misses there for them. It was certainly a lot closer than the result portrays. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. That was pretty thrilling as far as I'm concerned. More to come from me as always in the future, but in the meantime, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile signing out.